right, thank you guys for returning to Cobra TV, and today we're going to be talking about Identity again. If you're new to the channel, Identity is a game that we started covering a couple years ago, very sporadically, and I hate to keep bringing up this comparison, but it's the quickest way to kind of explain what Identity is going to be to someone who's never heard it before. But it's, imagine you take Second Life and Grand Theft Auto, mashed them all together. That's what you would get with Identity. Of course, there's way more to explain than just that comparison, and you know, it's really not. I hate comparing it to Second Life, but the kind of things that people are doing in Second Life are going to be similar to what you're going to be able to do in Identity. But it is highly targeted to the roleplay crowd, and that's definitely me for sure. So we got some things that we're going to cover here with Identity, and we're probably going to start doing regular updates on Identity. Going through some of these notes here that I have written down, it doesn't sound like Identity is going to be fully released for at least a year, but they are going to release it in segments, in separate modules. And the first module that we're going to be getting, and Asylum says soon, is going to be the Town Square module. And they said that we're going to be getting that soon, and they said before that we're going to be getting a new trailer or a video showing off more of the game, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But one of the things that, since this is such an ambitious game, there's a lot of people out there that are like, screaming, this is a scam, this is another lying developer, it's going to be another disappointment like No Man's Sky and so many other games. With the missing features in No Man's Sky, I think the biggest one that let a lot of people down was the ability to see another player. However, the response in a latest interview with Asylum, they actually said, there's talks about the game being a scam, and their advice to people that believe that, and this is coming from the developers, they're sound and true. They're rock solid in what they think that they can deliver. But they also say that for those that do think it's a scam, to hold back. Don't back this game. Don't pre-order it. Don't do anything. Wait till it comes out, or wait till you see further development, and then, get behind it. And, that's really comforting to hear from a developer who was promising so much. But I definitely can't wait to get the Town Square module here pretty soon, and I can't wait to see the additional gameplay trailer that they're going to release before that actually happens. And they were talking about the Town Square module being released fairly soon. So the first thing I want to go over here is the consoles. They were asked recently in an interview if Identity was going to be coming to consoles, Xbox and PS4. They said to the effect that they want to port it to consoles. They really do, but they're not sure how they're gonna go about doing that. But right now they're focused on the PC version first, and then after that, they're going to do research into seeing how they can get the game onto consoles. But they're not making any promises, but they are definitely leaning towards wanting it to be on consoles. This is definitely a lot of good news for people that are hearing about Identity and coming across the news that it's going to be PC only, and they're console players. So good news there. Another question that has been, going around is, what if there's not enough people to populate the server? So say like you purchase a piece of furniture and it has to be delivered to you. Well, what if everybody's playing a cop and everybody's playing a robber, and there isn't anybody to deliver the furniture? The game's going to be broke. The way they have things set up is, if there's a role that needs to be played, and there isn't anybody there to do that role, then after a certain time period, the game will take over and do it for you. So the way, like delivering, let's take delivering furniture. So there's going to be a database. You can go to the internet cafe somewhere in Town Square, or if you're got your house and you got your internet, you got your laptop and everything, you can access it that way, and you could look at a list of contracts, a list of jobs, and you could take one on. So let's say it's the furniture. You go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to deliver the furniture, and you get paid. You have to go to the shop, you have to pick up the furniture and take it to the online player's house and deliver it to them. So say that online player doesn't have nobody takes the job. So what happens is the game will just automatically deliver that piece of furniture to that player, and so problem solved. That would break the immersion quite a bit, maybe. I don't know how they're going to do that. So there are some ways to work around this. They do know that some of these servers can get empty, which brings me to the next topic here. So they asked if you could change servers and keep your character and keep everything. They replied by saying yes and no. You can change to a different server and your character will go there. You keep your same character, everything that you build up for it, your crime record, your track record on everything, your clothing and things like that. But the only thing that does not come with you are things like houses and I don't know if vehicles. They didn't mention vehicles, but they said houses and like gangs that you're affiliated to that are online, online player gangs that are associated with a particular server. Obviously, they're not going to come with you. So pretty much the only thing that you get to take to a different server is just going to be your character, and you probably would have to buy a new house. And that was for official servers. There's they're not sure about private. The private servers that people are going to rent are going to have a different set of rules. Like whoever owns or is renting the server can set up their own rules and laws, and they can switch things around. So another cool thing about Identity is there's going to be resources, resource gathering. There's going to be farming. It said that there are farm plots to purchase, or some are even in the open, so that all of the public could use them for free. And you could plant food, you could plant marijuana. So if you found like a patch of farmland out in the woods, you could grow your own marijuana out there. But the downside to that is if somebody comes across it, like if it's not a farm plot that you paid for, then somebody can actually just come by and just pick your marijuana or pick your food that you're growing. And there's also resources out there that you can gather by hunting. You could live off the land. You don't have to have a house. You can live off the grid. You don't have to have a license for anything. You can get, acquire your guns and everything legally and go out into the woods and just live off the land. You could grow your own food. You could hunt your own food, cut down your own trees to build fire when it gets cold. And the animals that you kill are not just food. You could strip off their hide and actually make leather for it that you could craft clothing out of, or you could even sell it to some of the stores in town and then disappear back into the woods again. They have said that there is going to be player customization, but in the beginning, they are only going to be doing the face and the hair and things like that. You can get tattoos in the game, but that's not part of the player customization because they want you to acquire that as you're living in Identity. They want to add more body type, taller, fatter, skinnier, stronger type player customizations, character customizations, but it's not going to be there when the game actually launches in the beginning. And you could still purchase Identity right now from their website, and it's called the Founders Pack. And with the Founders Pack, you could get the beta testing, so you'll be available for the beta testing, and you'll get the full release plus the full release when the game's actually out. And the release is going to be quite I don't want to say complicated, but it's going to be a very slow process, and I think it's going to be fun this way. Here's the timeline for the release of Identity. Now, they're not sure on the full release date, but how they're going to do it is Times Square. It's not too far away. They're going to release that first. And then after the Times Square module, they're going to release a SWAT team module. And that's going to be maybe mid to late this year. And then after the SWAT team the SWAT module, they're going to be releasing a racing module. And that is going to be either late year or early next year. And then from the racing module, they're going to release the beta. So unless things go really well for them, I'm not looking for the beta to be released until 2018. So we definitely do have a long way to go. I also had somebody asking me about the prisons. There's actually prisons and there's jails. Jails, you're only going to be in there for like 5 to 10 minutes. If you do a more serious crime or you're a repeat offender, you're going to end up going to prison. Now, when you go to prison, it's a longer sentence, but it's not like you're just sitting there waiting to get out. There are things that you could do while you're there. You could try and break out. Being in prison's like a game inside of a game. So once you get thrown in there are gangs you could join. You can make shanks and you could kill other prisoners. It's very social. You can go and chat and everything. And if you think you're innocent or if you think that your time should be reduced, there is a legal system. You could actually request for a lawyer to come and plead your case to a judge who is another online player. So is the lawyer, and see if you can get out or see if you can get free from the charges that put you in there. And I have played Altus Life a lot, and I I've been arrested for something that I did not do just because I was near or I was walking with people that I didn't know, who I just met, who committed a crime, and I ended up getting arrested too. There was no legal system there, but I did get arrested, and I was completely and 100% innocent. But I haven't been innocent for the entire time I was playing Altus Life, so it was like I was paying for a crime that I didn't get caught for. But it's cool that in Identity there is going to be a legal system. Man, can you imagine the YouTube videos that are going to come out with this game? This game goes as far as being able to even kidnap another online player, that you could restrain them and throw them in your vehicle. They were asked if you could put them in the trunk, and they said no. The way the trunk system works, I don't know if anybody's played Altus Life or Arma or DayZ or anything like that. Well, the trunk is going to be like an inventory. It's going to be like a 2D screen, and it's going to have certain spots on there. You're going to have the main section of the trunk, and then you have smaller little inventory spots and things like that. So it's not like a you open it up, you see the inside in 3D, like a 3D model of the inside of the truck, and throw a player in there. It's like your backpack. Now here's another cool part. They were asked about schools in the game, if there's colleges, and the answer to that is yes, there are colleges in the game. It's not like you're going to go and join a college and learn a career or anything like that. But what the colleges do is they act as tutorials in the game. So if you're new to the game, you could probably go down to the college and learn a tutorial. If there's a question that you might have, like I don't know, how to acquire something or how to become a police officer, like where do you go, or maybe shooting, or I don't know what it is, but the college is there for tutorial purposes. Now there are other schools in the game, and what is really great about Identity is they have set the game up to where there are tools and things within the game that maybe don't exist. As players, we can make them exist, and let me give you an example, and they gave this example as well. So bodyguard, there is no career in Identity to be a bodyguard. Now, some of the careers that are in Identity that are official are police officer. I think detective was one of them. Paramedic, delivery person, clothing designer, things like that. Those are official careers. Bodyguard, however, is not. So a bodyguard, they have given tools in the game to where people who want to role play or people who want to create these game mechanics that don't exist, the tools are there for that. And so say you're going to meet a drug dealer and you're going to purchase a car from him or something, and you want some protection, so you hire a few guys to be your bodyguards, and you go down to the place where you're going to purchase this hot car. It's stolen, and the bodyguards are there. You've paid them, and they will protect you with their life. And so a game mechanic like that can exist even though it's not intended in the game, and that's what Asylum wants. They want to be able to have tools in there so that you and I and everybody else can create these, have endless possibilities. And then another cool thing about Identity is you're going to be able to own pets. Cats and dogs are 100% confirmed in Identity. Now in the beginning, these are only going to be pets that are going to be in your home. You're not going to be able to take them out and walk them around town square. But in the future, they said that we will be able to walk them outside of our apartment or house and take them out. But definitely not at the time the game is going to be released, which is kind of a bummer, but it is in their plans to have done at some point in time. So another cool thing is the crimes that you commit in Identity that you actually get caught for and are judged against, they are going to remain on your record. So say you get in Identity and you want to be a cop, but you do a couple stupid things right in the beginning with your character, and you don't realize that there's going to be repercussions for that, because when you go to try and be a cop, they're going to run a background check on you, and you're going to have crimes committed. And depending on whoever's doing the background check, say the crimes were like 6 months ago and you've been free and clear ever since, they might go ahead and let you join the police force. But if they're kind of recent, you might not be able to. And then you're thinking, well, I could just start a new character. But what if you've got a house and you got everything built up and you got a lot of time invested into that character? That could get pretty itchy. So if any of you are wanting to be a police officer in Identity, when you first start up the game, I would be really, really careful at staying out of trouble. And that is sometimes really difficult because, like I said, in Altus Life, you can get arrested for something and you're innocent. And, you know, we're not dealing with a game mechanic here that tells you that you've broken a law. We're dealing with an online player who's driving around a police cruiser, and he's looking for people speeding, looking for people who are not using their blinkers, and looking for people robbing other online players or going out to the pot fields and stealing pot so that you can take it in town. And there is one confirmed NPC. It's going to be a drug dealer, and he's there so that you could take the pot from the field and sell it to an NPC drug dealer, so that way you can get money. Sort of a little game mechanic there to earn fast cash. And it's pretty dangerous because the cops know where these drug fields are, and they're going to be cruising those areas like they do in Altus Life. And if you are wondering why I'm bringing up Altus Life a lot, is because these are the same guys who made the mod for Arma 3 called Altus Life. So Asylum did that, and it is a very fun game. If you have a PC and you're able to, if you got Arma 3, check out the mod Altus Life, and there's a whole bunch of others. You know, I mention Altus Life a lot. I know there's a lot of other life mods for Arma 3, but the reason why I'm always talking about Altus Life and not the others is because the developers who are making Identity are the ones that made Altus Life. And to wrap it up, when he was asked about the RV meth lab, he was asked if you could use it as a transport vehicle, a regular vehicle driving around town. I don't know if that's such a good idea. You know, I mean, you got a meth lab. It's probably going to look like everybody else's RV meth lab. It's going to be the same. And you're driving it around town. The cops are definitely going to follow you around. But what happens is when you take it out to a safe area, you can convert it into a meth lab. And once it's converted into a meth lab, it's disabled. You can't drive it. And the only way you could drive it is by packing away the meth lab. And then once you do that, your RV is operational again. So I don't know, if the cops stop you, I'm not entirely sure if they can bust you just for having an RV meth lab. But because if it's packed away, I'm not sure how that's going to work. But they probably will take you out and they can search you. They can search your inventory level. They have that power to look right into your inventory level, see if you're carrying any weapons or drugs. And if you are carrying a weapon, it's okay. But you have to have a weapons license in order to have a firearm. But drugs, no, they'll arrest you. But he kind of quit talking about the RV meth lab and said, you know what, never mind, you guys are going to see that really soon. So I guess that's going to be part of the video that they're going to be releasing here soon. And we haven't gotten much footage from Asylum on Identity. So this, they said that, they know that that's bad, but they're going to increase the amount of things that they are going to start releasing. So they know that they need to release more footage of the game, especially now and today, to get people to trust them a little bit more. But like they said, the best thing to do is sit back, wait for the game to come out, watch other people play it. They're very, very, very confident in their game, and we're going to be seeing a lot more from them. They even touched on possibly doing like a Twitch dev stream, where they show what they're working on over Twitch. And I think that's really cool, and I really, really, really hope they start doing that. That is all I got for today. I did hold some things back. We're going to be doing a couple episodes on the cops. We're going to be doing a couple episodes on the housing in Identity alone, so that way we can focus on those features rather than going through bullet points on a pretty long interview. So we'll be uploading the cops and the housing soon. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for Identity coverage and coverage of other indie games that are in development. Sorry about the little cold I've got. You could definitely tell in my voice that I do have one. Also, if you are subscribed, don't forget to tap that bell. I guess YouTube wants people to subscribe twice now. Thanks. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Until next time.